Damn, I thought I had the name. I knew it was something I was supposed to get. And where is my gloves? Oh, here we go. Peace, peace. Greetings to everybody coming in. Peace to you, bro. Gonna get this set up. I hope everybody is having a lovely Friday. I can see my comments today. What it do, bro? Hey, sis. Greetings to everybody coming in. I hope y'all got to watch the movie, The Wrath of God, because we about to go in. We about to go in, okay? And just, y'all, I was making sure I had all my notes together, right? Like, every little thing I needed printed out. And I got everything I needed. Peace, bro. I love you more, sissy. Infinity, okay? Always. All right? I really appreciate it. You know what I mean? I've been going up and down lately in a couple of days. But I got everything I needed. It was just the two names, but I think I can pretty much explain them. I actually looked them up, and I thought, yes, watch it. Really watch it. Like, watch it for real. It's a really good movie. And, of course, you know, most movies today or in the past definitely have something to do with the energy today, you know, where everything is in motion. Just got to tap in with your first eye to understand that it's not just really entertainment, because it can be, but it's got a lot of gems in it. Especially with the Wrath of God, how they teach us and or taught us in church about the wrath being this big old, you know, massive wrath that takes place at one time, you know. But we got it. Damn, so I gotta watch it before this live. Yeah, if you want to, sis, go ahead, because it's gonna make sense if you watch it. Or either or, you know, it's up to you. It's up to you. I watched it twice in one night, so it's really good. And if I'm watching it twice in one night, it's got to be a real good movie with some gems, especially if I'm writing scene by scene. Okay? So, yeah. I'm going to get started, though. Because we're pretty much going to be talking about this and talking about this good old school on Earth. You know, why we call Earth school. One of my bros wanted me to tap in on that, so we're gonna dive in it too. It's on Netflix. Yes, girl. We know. We all know. It's on Netflix, bro. I heard it's on a Fire Stick too, but make sure you find a copy that's in English, because it is in English though. But it's a really good movie, and it really blew my damn mind. You know, Netflix be coming out with some shit, man. They be pulling some shit from the woodwork. I swear they do. Okay. Well, I catch you on the replay. You welcome, bro. So let's get started, y'all. Let's just go ahead and get started. And I was trying to wait, see if a couple more people want to come in, because I know, let me tag her. I know she watched it today. And, you know, I don't know. Okay. I'm glad they got it back the way it was, because, baby, we wasn't trying to invite on the live. So hopefully, she'll just chime in. But, okay. But basically, yes! Yes! Always love this to life, man. This experience is awesome. Once you're, on the path of understanding what shit is, oh my God. It's like an adrenaline rush, you know? I love it. I love not being lost, okay? I love being found. Yes. Oh shit. Yes, sis. That's some real shit though. But let me go ahead. When you start off with the movie The Wrath of God, right? It actually starts at the end of what's going to happen at the end. And it just kind of, go into that a little bit, and then it'll end up starting from like 12 years prior to that ending. That's where it starts at in the movie. So I kind of like grasped a lot of names and stuff, and I actually printed out a Bible verse. Okay, sis. Okay. And we're going to chime into that Bible verse too. So I'm going to start off with the names of the characters, the main characters that's dealing with the wrath of God. You're going to hear some names of a book that's called Odell and Odette. I actually looked it up. I just didn't write it down, y'all. But it is symbolic for the yin and yang. So, for those who watched the movie, the book that's Odell and Odette means the yin and the yang, okay? It's all about balance, okay? And even at the beginning of the movie, then one of the main characters, which is Closter, that is the author of the book, he's actually in the middle of writing the book when it starts, okay? So, I'm going to go ahead and break down the names of the characters, and then we're going to dive into the scenes. They have a girl that's a main character. Her name is Luciana. And when I looked up Luciana, it means light, okay? And the thing about light is, light can be tricky, and it can be illusionary. It can actually expose, the truth, the realness, all depending on the level of force that you're using your light, okay? Closter, which is the author in the movie, his name means monstery, okay? And monstery means where monks or nuns live. And it also means alone or live alone. My little girl trying to get in. Y'all know I got my door, locked. She trying. So, these are the two main characters. Luciana and Closter. Okay? Trying to make sure I didn't have nobody else's name. I probably do, but it's on down. So, at the beginning of the movie, when it actually starts, and Luciana is really, I wouldn't say obsessed with Closter, but she's very intrigued by his knowledge, the information, his books, okay? She's like a fan, okay? And she's one of his assistants that work for him, because she's in college, so she's the one typing up the book in the beginning for him as he speaks, okay? At one time, Luciana went to his house. Mr. Closter was, I wouldn't say he was being pervertive, but he was really sexualizing her, okay? Sissy, I'm trying to pull it up. What's the name again? The Wrath of God. Let me see if I can put it in the comments. That way, those who haven't caught it, you can get the name and watch it. I wonder if I can pin it. Okay, I pinned it. It's called The Wrath of God, okay? So in the beginning, you know, she goes over to his house, as she normally do. And this time, you know, she's, you know, young girls, they dress, you know, upon to their personality. Doesn't mean that she's dressing provocative. You know, she's just being her. She's being a young girl. But to him as a man, you know, older man, you know, he's looking at her in such a lust way. Okay, lust. And at that moment, you know, they're writing, she's typing, he's saying, you know, with the book, you know, repeating what she's writing. And they get close to each other. And he tries her. You know, he tries to kiss her. He actually does kiss her. And she pulls away. And she's like shocked that he kissed her. You know? From a person looking from the outside in, you would think she kind of had some type of interest in the man. And I believe to a certain extent she did. Because she was kind of a little obsessive, you know, working with him. And I think it's just all because of his knowledge and his work. So she didn't really look at him at a way as he thought she did. Peace, bro. So she didn't kind of look at the way as, you know, he thought she did, you know. So he felt like that was a moment for him to kiss her. She pulled away. Didn't like it. She left. She quit that day. She went home. And when she went home, you know, her mother could feel it was something going on with her. Because, you know, people can feel when your energy is off and feel when something is up with your energy. So her mom goes upstairs. And she asks her, you know, what's going on with her. And she finally tells her mother that, you know, Mr. Closter kissed her. And she didn't. Peace, sis. We diving right in. We just still at the beginning. She tells the mother, you know, tell her mama that, you know, he tried her, he kissed her, but it was nothing. So, you know, she tried to brush it off. But her mother was like, no, we're not brushing it off, okay? He know what he did. That's wrong. You're his assistant. You're a student. So they went so as far as suing him, okay? Which they was going to be able to get him for sexual harassment, okay? In these moments of this time and this is transpiring, you can kind of feel like, you can see and feel the energy of she didn't really want to do it. You know, she didn't want to sue him. You know, it wasn't really a big deal, but, you know, she felt like long as she quit the job, she don't have to deal with him no more. But from her mama's perspective, it's like, we gonna get him for what we can. Okay? He knows better. Alright? So she listened to her mom and they proceeded to sue him. Before it can even get to court, of course, he comes and he pays her under the table. Okay? So it wouldn't get out publicly. Okay, because he's a big time author, a book author. So he didn't want that to destroy his career, okay? His image. All right. So as soon as that happened, she got paid, okay? And in the midst of all of that, Mr. Closter ended up losing his wife and his daughter. And the day he paid her off is the day she found out that he had lost his wife and his daughter probably a couple weeks before. Okay, around the time, she first pursued with to sue him. Okay, and they had already sent him out the papers that he had to go to court. Okay, and when they sent that out, his wife ended up getting the paper. She ended up reading it. She ended up finding out, okay, what's going on between him and Luciana, and find out that she's suing him for her sexual harassment. Okay, now before I even go any further, I'm gonna describe the wife's of I don't want to say disability, but her situation. Now, his wife used to be a ballerina dancer, very popular, but she ended up getting in a wreck, which caused her to kind of lose her memory a little bit. So she couldn't remember a lot of things that she used to do. So she was starting to come around, and she had been in the hospital for a long time and, trying to do therapy. And in that time, he had been raising their daughter, which had been a baby at the time that she had this wreck. Okay. So her mind is very sensitive. So anything that's really negative or too much energy, as we could say, for her mind, it would it shatters her mind, which would make her go crazy. Okay? So she ended up reading that paper, finding out what was going on, and she just went into a trance. Okay? To a trance in a dark place, where she ends up taking out the daughter and taking herself out. Now she drowned the daughter. She hit the daughter on the head, and the daughter ended up drowning. These are very important clues because this plays out in the movie too. So she ends up hitting the daughter on the side of the head, and she ended up bleeding. The daughter passes out, and she's in the tub when she does this, the little girl. So the little girl ends up drowning. The mother ends up taking an overdose and killing herself. Mr. Closter comes in and finds both of them deceased. Okay? They had on transition. So he kind of lost it, sort of say. But he understand the science, okay? He understand the knowledge, okay, of what transition is and what it's about to come. All right? And he also is still in sadness over losing his family. Okay? So when he pays her off, this is what had just took place a couple weeks prior, okay? Over the next couple years, all right, Luciana ends up losing family members one by one. All right, she ends up losing her family members one by one. And as she's losing them, she's like, it's Mr. Closter. I know it's him. He's doing it to my people. He's killing my people. Okay? Okay? And the reason why, let's go back to Mr. Closter. The reason why Mr. Closter ends up losing his family is because it was all behind his lies, okay? His cause and effects, his choices on what he made and the sexual advances that he did towards the daughter, towards Luciana. So, okay, he ended up losing his wife and daughter behind that. Lies or illusions in the light, okay, or by your light. That's why we say, you know, you got to be really tapped in, or not even tapped in, but, you know, really highly connected to yourself, aware of this experience, because things can be tricky. It's illusions all through this experience. We create illusions every day. Okay? So Luciana ends up losing her family members one by one behind her own guilt. Okay? And this is where this wrath of God takes place. Okay? In church, they're telling you, you know, you're going to get the wrath of God if you don't do right. Which is right in so many words. Okay? But the projection they gave was literal. It was never spiritual. Okay? Okay. First, Luciana lost her brother, and he was a life coach for the beach. Which is around the same time she thought she saw Mr. Closter. But she felt like he was following her because she felt the guilt of suing him, okay? And in the midst of her suing him, he ends up losing his wife and daughter before he pays her off. So she's in guilt already of what she's done to this man and how she feels about him losing his family, okay? Because they were close at one point. So she ends up losing her brother, and he ends up drowning. A massive wave comes, which it is symbolic for any waves or storm that you see. Okay, it's symbolic for a cleansing, an ending to a beginning. Okay, something, a battle, not even battle, but something is about to come forth and take place. Okay, a change. All right. So, during that time when the wave hit, she ended up losing her brother, and he ended up drowning trying to save somebody else. She thought it was Mr. Closter that did it, though. Okay? Closter, now if you remember, he ends up losing his daughter, okay, by drowning. She lost a brother by drowning. Alright? On down the line, she ends up losing her mother. Well, losing her father. Her mother ends up getting terminally ill. You know, behind eating poisonous mushrooms, which her mother was a specialist on mushrooms. Okay? So she knew what mushrooms to pick and how to pick them. So it was kind of odd that they both got sick, and the father ended up getting poisoned enough, and he ends up transitioning. Poison is the key word, because Closter wife ends up transitioning by overdose, which is a form of poison. Okay? Alright? She lost a parent. He lost a wife. His daughter lost a parent. Okay? He lost a daughter, and she ends up losing a brother at this time. Her mom was paralyzed, okay? She didn't end up transitioning, the mother did. And she was paralyzed, and her mind was shattering, okay? Meaning she was off just as same as Mr. Closter's wife, you know? His wife was diagnosed with a shattered brain because of what happened to her in the accident. Okay? She ends up losing another brother, okay, because she has two brothers and one sister. She ends up losing another brother due to the lust to another man's wife, okay? which is why he was beat to death in the face and the head, okay? Same as Luciana, okay? The whole aspect of Mr. Closter lusting over her, okay? Which caused him to lose and caused her to feel guilt, okay? And it was also causing Luciana to lose her mind. And that's also being symbolic to her brother being beat to death in his head, okay, in the face, okay, loss of mind. They go on down. Her mom dies, okay, in a fire, okay, at the building, at the home that the mother was in, she was being taken care of at a home. That building ended up catching on fire. And at this point, y'all, I was thinking like, this girl got to be crazy, okay? Or because I feel like she doing all of this shit. Like, what the hell is going on with this girl, okay? Definitely had me feeling like this motherfucker doing these own killings, okay? That is symbolic, okay? Her mom dying in the fire is symbolic for Luciana, okay? She's walking through the fire of her own guilt, okay? And when it becomes, I'm going to get to the wrath of God. I want to break it down so bad right quick, but I'm going to go ahead and finish what I got to say with this movie. So she walking through the fire of her own guilt, okay? Fire is not only symbolic for, to be destruction. It's also a rebirth, okay? She is over, now the little sister that she has left, because she done lost her daddy, her mama, and her 2 brothers, okay? She only has her sister left. Her sister, she is overprotective over her sister because what has happened to her family, and she didn't want her to live in fear, okay? But, she had to make certain commands with Closter, okay, to set her and her sister free, because she felt like at the end of the day, it's all because of Mr. Closter. Why I'm losing my family, why this bad luck, such and such, okay? Blaming somebody else for your own guilt is what she was doing, all right? We do things that we don't agree with, that family members have us all caught up in, sometimes our parents, or sometimes our friends, and we be guilty of the situations. And that will cause us to, create our own demise, okay? Our own insecurities, okay? Now, she lost her family over a course of 10 to 12 years, okay? Every last one except the sister. Alright? Whether we count down, we do the numerology with 10, and we know that's still a reflection of 1, okay? That's back at 1. That's a new beginning. That's another elevation, new elevation, growth, okay? Then we got this 12, breaking it down to 3, that's dealing with your Christ conscious, okay? Your Christ conscious, or your conscious mind, or your higher self, okay? However you want to, or the most high, however you want to, put it. All right? So during this course of time, over the 10 to 12 years, okay, she's been going through the wrath of God, okay? Now, Closter, at some point in the movie, he's talking about divine justice. And I think this is probably towards the end when he gets to talking about, when he's talking to the other guy that's helping her to try to figure out if Mr. Closter is guilty of killing her family members. And the reason why he was so but so believing of her is because he also had a feeling of how he felt about Mr. Closter. Okay? Peace, bro. Okay? He felt a certain way about Mr. Closter. So it was kind of easy. Like when 2 motherfuckers don't like you, it's easy to become one and gang up on you. Okay? They got something in common. Alright? So Mr. Closter is talking about divine justice, and then he's talking to this man about it. I can't remember his name. I probably got it somewhere on down. But he's talking to him about it. Okay? Divine justice. And the balancing of self to free you from your wrath. Okay? And in that quotation of what he's saying is everything that you do unto yourself or to others. Okay? Divine justice is going to take place. Okay? Judgment is going to come. Alright? And it's going to have to be some balancing of yourself to free your mind from your own wrath, from those that your own wrath, your own demises, okay, your own guilt, your own pain, okay. Whatever anybody has done to you, you have to become balanced with yourself, okay, and understanding why things took place the way they did and what's going on, okay, so you can be able to free your mind, okay. Which is taking place, the wrath is taking place in your mind. It's causing all this noise and chaos, okay? Where you're not focused, okay? Or you pointing the finger, as they say. You know, you're not taking any accountability. You're not trying to, you ain't trying to hear none of that, okay? You just know you right when it's dealing with other people saying it's somebody else. Instead of looking at the mirror, okay, and looking at yourself. Okay? Now, she was obsessed with him. Like I said, she was obsessed with Mr. Closter. But because of her guilt and him losing everything, okay? Because he lost his wife and his daughter. That's his everything, okay? Which caused her to start losing everything, okay? Now, she finally gets to a point where she feel like she just got to talk to Mr. Closter. Okay? And not only is that talking to Mr. Closter is going to give her some closure, but it's freeing her mind. Okay? Starting to take accountability. Okay? Acceptance and understanding. Okay? Recognizing that guilt that she had. Okay? So she talks to Mr. Closter, okay? And the crazy thing, let me go back before she talked to Mr. Closter. Because before she even got to this point, okay, of losing everything and stuff like that, before she got to a point that she really felt like she needed to talk to Mr. Closter, she was trying her best to frame this man, okay? Of all these murders dealing with her family. Freak accidents or whatever, okay? She was trying to frame this man. She was trying to expose this man. Okay? Alright? Neither one time did that man try to expose her. Okay? Or have her arrested. Alright? He didn't do anything to her. Okay? As much as she was doing back to him. Which was a payback for her. You know, that revenge, okay? But she trying to bury this man, alright? And when she realized that everything that she trying to do is not working, okay? It's hard to frame him. It's hard to expose him, okay? It's hard to bury this man, okay? To a point she feel like we gonna have to take him out. Yeah, we gonna have to take him out. So when she get up there to talk to she get to the place where she want to talk to Mr. Closter. She first speak on, she started to talk about the wrath, okay, and what's going on, trying to understand what is going on with her life and what did she do to deserve, to lose all her family members. And she trying her best to protect her little sister, which her sister is a reflection of her own self, okay? Because remember, 12 years ago is when this happened with her and Mr. Closter. Her sister was the same age as Mr. Closter's daughter, okay? And Luciana used to play with Mr. Closter's daughter a lot because she was his assistant. Okay, so she kind of looked at her like a little sister. But those are reflections of Luciana, the inner child. Okay? So now her sister is the age when all this took place. 12 years ago. Okay? So she trying to talk to Mr. Close about the wrath and trying to figure out what the hell going on, why is all of this happening. Basically, like, it almost felt like she wanted him to admit. But, of course, Mr. Closter, I don't know, I just want to call him Mr. Clumpshaw, but goddamn, Mr. Closter, okay, he wanted to, he always stayed balanced. So instead of chewing her head off as he should, he deserve, he should be able to, is all the shit she don't put him through in 12 years of trying to frame him and, expose him and shit, okay? He had every right if he wanted to. But instead, he stayed just as humble and balanced and fed her the truth. Okay? Which, in the end, ended up setting her free. Okay? So he tells her, it has always been you. And only you can stop it. Okay? Only you can stop it. The wrath is based upon what you do, your cause and your effects. Okay? Okay? And it's only ultimately up to you to stop this wrath. And by stopping this wrath, you definitely have to take accountability. Okay? You got to understand what's going on. You got to understand the lesson that took place. Okay? So, she asked Mr. Closter, and she asked him, will he not harm her sister? And he promised her he would never harm her sister. Oh, it's a twist. Okay? It's a twist. Now I understand why I've been going through this shit this week, okay? But okay. But so he promises not to harm her sister. Once she heard that, she then jumps off the balcony, okay? Because she came to this book opening, this book reading of his book that he authored called Odell and Odette, which is referencing the yin yang, the dark and the light, the high and the low. Okay, of yourself, okay? So she ends up jumping off this balcony. She ends up killing herself. And that's because she could not carry the guilt no more. And sometimes with people, it's easier to take themselves out as what they think, okay? They think it's easier to take themselves out. They can't handle a lot of things that have went on in their journey. That's why we have the suicide, okay? They can't understand. They don't want to, I ain't going to say they don't want to understand, but they can't handle the things that they have experienced in that life, okay? Which is their only option, they think, is to give up, which is suicide, okay? So, and they're also referencing a new birth, okay? So she couldn't live with the guilt no more, and it set her free at the same time. Okay, which is going to reference the new birth. Okay? Which is also symbolic to being free, like I said, and saving her sister, which is their lineage, which is dealing with the generations. Okay? Which is dealing with the generations, okay? That's also saving the little girl in her, okay? Which is symbolic, like I said, for the little sister as well, okay? Understanding your transition. So when a rebirth comes, you're no longer going through that wrath, okay? All right? You have elevated in the mind, okay? In your heart. All right? So that path no longer exists, okay? So when you come back and it takes place in alignment or something like that, you know how to deal with it. You recognize it, okay? That's like a level. You beating the level, so you pass it, all right? Right, she will not learn anything this time around. She will repeat the cycle again and again until she learns. That's a fact. Okay, that's a fact. And that's pretty much what it is, okay? Now, she tried speaking out about this a long time ago. She tried telling her people, you know, it was cluster, and it was pretty much driving them crazy because they like, it's not him. This man is not around. They literally felt like she was going crazy. Okay? At one point, she was admitted in a mental hospital during those 12 years. So, she finally got to speak her piece before she jumped off that balcony. But like I said, she couldn't live with the guilt of understanding that it was her the whole time that was going through her family. You know, that was the wrath. She took her own family out. Okay? Because of her own guilt. Because of her own demises. Alright? Okay? Same thing happening today. Yeah. We don't want to believe that about our energy. Okay? Is creating, is projecting, okay, these wraths. Okay? In our families, okay? In your tribe, okay, in your tribe, or however you want to put it, but in your foundation, your family. Now, it's a saying, something trying to come to me, it's something about being careful what you do, okay? Because like we said about that karma, okay? You got to be careful what you do in your journey as well, because you're part of that generation. You're part of this energy, okay? And sometimes that shit can skip a generation, but it's going to hit the next one. All right? All based off of our own wraths. In multiple of these experiences. All of them. How about that? In all of the experiences. Even today. All right? We have to make our wrongs right. Recognizing this wrath. Okay? Which we call the generational curse as well. Okay? We hold on to a lot of guilt. Other people guilt. Okay? And that has done something to us, which is caused a wrath upon no other than our own damn selves. Creating these lies of the illusion to hide behind the mask, okay? Which will bring a wrath upon you. Because you ain't being your real authentic self. You don't know yourself. That's a wrath upon itself. Okay? All lessons our ancestors never learned before they transition will get passed along to the next generations until the lessons are learned. Exactly. Facts, Jesse. That's what's up. Right there, bro. All lessons our ancestors never learned before they transition will get passed along to the next generations, okay? Until these lessons are learned, okay? Now, we're raising the vibrations of the energy. Not only within ourselves, okay? But in this whole experience, this journey. Okay? So when this tends to happen, okay, a lot of things come up. A lot of storms are created. Hell, right now in the South, we've been having storms like a mug already, which we know is a summer thing, okay? But it's the reason why we have these storms a lot too during the summer, okay? This is also a type of energy that's happening during the summer. The temperatures are rising. It's boiling hot, okay? So the only thing that's going to project is what? A steam or overflow, okay? A burst, a boom, all right? Which is all taking place at the tip of that wrath within the energy, within yourself, okay? And a lot of people, what happened in the summer? Transition. There's a lot more deaths in the summer when it's hot, okay? But we creating these lies of the illusion to hide behind the mask. Oh, I just read that, y'all. Melanated people are getting more powerful. We definitely are getting more powerful. Definitely are. And the most powerful motherfucker is the quietest one. Okay? The most powerful motherfucker is the quietest one. Alright? They always tell you, don't fuck with them quiet motherfuckers, okay? You don't never know what to expect, and that's only because we go, we follow ourselves. We don't really follow the crowd, you know what I'm saying? Our reaction is going to be much bigger than a motherfucker that's loud. Alright? Our projection. Because we always humble, balanced, okay? We chill. But you have to stand in your truth no matter what, okay? No matter what it is. Stand in your truth, whether it's wrong or right. Own up to the shit. Stand up to it. That's being real, okay? Let's keep it real. 100, as we all say. Okay? Regardless of how somebody else is going to take it. And it's ways of saying things too, you know, like Mr. Closer said to her, okay, because he could have went the hell in. He could have been very aggressive, but he stayed humble and balanced and read her ass the truth. It was you. Always been you. I didn't have to put a finger on your family. Because your old guilt is what's going to destroy your lineage. It's going to destroy your generation. Okay? Your family, your foundation. Alright? So you got to stand in your truth no matter what. And that journalist, okay? The one that was with the girl, you know, he was riding with her. And let's see, that's like with the motherfucker. Y'all, the ones that can relate, we all relate on a certain frequency, so you can't be mad about it. But these motherfuckers, they be trying to get, go against you. And even it could be your lower self as well. Not just other people, but your lower self, okay? Be trying to go against you. Okay? Have you make you thinking all these fucked up negative ass thoughts, okay? Talking, just negative vibing in the mind. Okay? And I even masking shit. Okay? But this journalist, oh no, I didn't make him, but I wish I did. I didn't make him, but I wish I did. I bought him online. Yeah. I'm a snake kind of girl. The journalist, though, he had a wrath upon him too, okay? And that's because, like I say, certain motherfuckers click together, okay? Even your lower self click against you, okay? And these motherfuckers be, eventually end up losing. They end up losing. He ended up losing his job, okay? because of shit that he said about Mr. Cloaker years ago. Okay? Mm-hmm. Head don't talk shit about that man. Around the time that girl end up, kissing her. He ended up losing his job. He was talking about Mr. Cloak around that time. And he ended up losing his job pretty much 12 years later because of, behind what he had done said about Mr. Cloak in the past. And they found that article. That means, it don't matter how hard you did, you hide some shit now. It don't matter. It don't matter. How hard you damn y'all, I'm sorry. How hard you try to hide some shit, bury it, okay? It does not matter. That shit still gonna come up. Alright? And he thought would nobody find that shit. Okay? And he ended up losing his job behind it. Okay? He ended up losing his job. So he lost everything. He was going downhill too. Okay? Now, after Luciana, she transitioned or whatever, they have her funeral or whatever, the journalist, he come in there, he see Mr. Closer with Luciana's sister. And Luciana's sister, boy, she was sneaky as hell. Okay? She was talking to Mr. Closer the whole time. She looked at him the same way, his sister did. But she was a little bit more, into him. So, yeah. But anyway, so he ended up seeing them at the funeral. And he said something to Mr. Closter. I can't remember. I don't think I wrote it down. But Mr. Closter ended up telling him he don't want to end up like Luciana. Because he was trying to pin Luciana's death on Mr. Closter. Like, he felt like he had evidence to destroy him, really, when he really had nothing. Speculations, accusations, false evidence. And he ended up telling him, you don't want to end up like Luciana. Because of her own demises of her own guilt. Okay? And he lost his job, just before Luciana jumped off that balcony because of that shit coming up about him talking about Mr. Cloaker. So he was still mad about that shit. You know what I mean? So he felt like he had something to do with her jumping. But in reality, he does see the truth behind Mr. Closter. Because there's a lot of people out here like Mr. Closter that know how to disguise their energy really well. And, play victim or, just pretty much the background person that, try to act like, they're not that type of person. They put on this whole persona. He had an image. He was a book author, a famous author. So, he knew how to disguise his energy. And he was, the journalist could see, this creep inside of Mr. Closter. He can see that energy that Luciana seen in him. 12 years ago when he tried to kiss her. Because he was all up on her sister, even to the point where he was telling the journalist she's almost 18, And he's like, she's just a minor. And he was like, I know. She would be the same age. She's going to be the same age my daughter would have been. Okay? But he said, she didn't care about his age. And so, you know, he put it out as, you know, they was going to be together. Her sister and him. She had already been sneaking behind her sister back to see Mr. Closter. Okay? Which I feel like the oldest sister also felt about Mr. Closter too. Because she had been there before the wife came back, you know, from the hospital and stuff like that. She had been there, you know, working with him before. So I'm pretty sure she had some type of feelings. But, you know, out of respect of his wife, she was caught off guard. And she just didn't look at him that way once his wife was in the picture, obviously. But you could tell she kind of flirted with him, a little flirty, you know. But she didn't think it was nothing major. But her sister, she liked Mr. Closter. So they was going to be together. He also seen that he tried him. He tried her. He could see that he tried Luciana. Okay? Because he had tried her sister. But he didn't believe that he killed Luciana's family though. Alright? Because it was Mr. Closter's own lies and infidelity, okay, and his creepy ass little eyes towards younger women, okay, and got caught up by his wife, okay, her seeing it, which she already had a shattered mind. So that right there just cracked that shit all the way open once she realized that he had a sexual harassment, okay, case against him from Luciana because he had kissed her. Alright, so that's why his family was taken out, by his own guilt, okay, his own lies and his own infidelity, okay. The same thing that what took Luciana's family, her own guilt, her own demises, okay. But it was, you know, by what they call it, the wrath of God, which is what takes place. We go through a lot of shit in our journey. We go through a lot in our journey. And it's hard, you know, sometimes to stay balanced. But I think the key to it all is just recognizing and taking accountability right out back. Do not allow it to wait, okay? Don't try to take that shit to your grave, okay? Because it's only going to cause a wrath upon the energy of your generations. And we need to speak about it, be open, okay? When you have an open mind, you have to be open to everything. You got to be open to conversations, okay? You got to tell somebody when they're not right, okay? Tell them when they are right, okay? Balancing the energy, feeding off each other. And by us feeding off each other, we're feeding off each other's wrath. Okay? Which is causing us what? To lose family members. Okay? If it ain't about their own wrath as well, it's also about the wrath of the generation. You know, years and years ago, our great elders stayed here in their hundreds and whatever, okay? Their energy wasn't conditioned like it is today. Okay, it's not as fragile as it is today. Or it wasn't as fragile as it is today. Alright? So, you know, just being cautious, aware of any energy, okay, well, all energy, okay, in any aspect, any lesson, okay, recognizing it and understanding it, okay, so you can move on, not holding on to it, because holding on to shit is putting weight on you, okay, which is going to cause a wrath in the energy because it's trying to release. Alright? It's like a blood clot. Trying to release. Alright? Release for the new generations to come. Alright, and our asses too. They had a Bible verse in this movie that stuck out to me. It's one, I think this is probably the only one they mentioned. But it's Exodus 21, chapter 21, 23 to 27. And it's basically saying, okay, but if there is serious injury, okay, serious injury means seriously you have self-inflicted your own pain, your own demises, okay? So, by causing that upon yourself and doing it to yourself, you are to take life for life, okay? Eye for eye, tooth for tooth, hand for hand, foot for foot, burn for burn, wound for wound, bruise for bruise. Alright? This is what you're going to carry. Alright? And that's upon your energy. The all energy. Okay? In verse 26 it says, an owner who hits a male or female slave in the eye. And we know when we're talking about the slave, we're talking about the body, the feminine energy, okay? In the eye, and destroys it, which is destroying your first eye, okay? It must let the slave go free, okay, which is the body, alright, to compensate for the eye, meaning the body just running. Ain't got no self-direction, no connection, alright, you can't see, alright. Yep, the pineal gland. And an owner who knocks out the tooth of a male or female, masculine and feminine slave, okay, must let the slave go free to compensate for the tooth, okay? So it's the eye for eye. What you do upon yourself is going to be done upon others, okay, in your foundation. That's it. That's all. Alright? You're going to continue to go through these routes, okay, in your experiences until you gain the lesson. They always say it just takes one person in the family, alright, or in that foundation to start to create a change. Alright? Alright? And it's going to be other people around you that sees that change. Okay? That'll change too. So, be the change. Alright? And I think that's about it, y'all. Cause, oh, no, that's not it. We're talking about the experience. Okay, this school, the Earth School, Jesse wanted me to talk about it. We're going to talk about it, okay? But he had posted, a picture the other day that was talking about the School of Earth. And I kind of just got one word out of it that I feel like is just overall what it's going to be, okay? So, we know School of Earth, okay? We know this heart. This is the overall experience, okay? You're welcome, bro. The overall experience, okay, is basically what this Earth School is, or your heart, okay? Dealing with your first eye, okay? So, I wrote down the word experience, and yeah, just bear with me. Okay, we got the EX, and instead of, I could have simply said, extraterrestrial. I could have said that. But I went ahead and researched just a little bit. So I actually found a symbolic meaning for EX. And it had a meaning, it had a meaning saying out of or from. Now this is EX. Out of or from. Okay? Then we got the per, P-E-R. And if you look up the origin or the symbolic meaning for per, you're going to get by means of, or through. Okay? And then we know this I, okay, is symbolic for one. Okay? And then we have E-N-C-E, which is the ets at the end. Now, I didn't think I was going to even find nothing behind this shit, but I actually did. And it means action or process. Now, EX is out of, from. What do you think that we come out of, and where are we from? Okay, because that's the EX, and it also is the extraterrestrial. And where do extraterrestrial energy exist? As they say. What do NASA say? What do NASA say? Where they exist in? In space. Okay. Pieces. You good. In space. Okay. Also, the darkness, okay, within, all right, okay, out of, we can talk about the yoni too, but to come out of the yoni, okay, where you're coming from to come out of. Right, we come out of the woman, from the realm, the spirit realm, okay, right, okay. That dark matter, which is dark mother, okay? That darkness, all right? So you coming out of, from, all right? All right, from darkness, all right? We just gonna say that. From the mother, the woman, okay? The feminine energy, all right? By, we ain't even gonna say by. By means of, okay? By means of and through this one, okay? You coming through, okay? One. Action or process, all right? Through this one action or process. So with this experience put together, okay? Every day, every day of our lives when we go to sleep, okay, and we wake up, okay, which is the whole symbolic thing for we die every day. And every day we come back, okay, we have you having an experience, okay, every second, every minute, every moment, every cause and effect that you do, all right, this is all a part, all right, of this divine energy. So this experience, which is in the heart, which they call earth, okay, is where we gain our lessons. All right? Every second, every moment, every minute, every day, you learn something new. All right? And sometimes you can learn something new about yourself. Every day. Okay? You never know. Okay? Alright? So this is why Earth is symbolic for the school. Because here in the experience, when we go to school, okay, or we gaining knowledge, all right, we're learning to pass the lessons. All right? All right? And if you don't pass in school, you stay back. All right? Well, it used to be like that. Definitely used to be like that. Nowadays, they passing all kids. No child left behind. All right? Well, that's a whole nother topic. Because they ain't even gaining the lesson. They just passing them. Which is causing what? This wrath today. This wrath and these energies. This energy. Our spirit isn't going to just sit there until the body awakes its journeys. Dreams don't exist. What we see or experience in a dream state really happen. They're divine messages. Facts. All day facts. Okay? So, yeah. You go to school every day. You wake up. Put in your work. Okay, you study. Alright? So you can pass the next task. Okay, what you got going on that day. Okay, you finished that. Alright? And then you start over to another day. Every day. This is energy build. The hell? This is energy build. You got to put in the work. Okay, you got to learn from the energy. You got to learn from your mistakes so you know how to stay lit. You know how to stay balanced. Okay, you know how to keep this shit going. Alright? So yeah. Earth School. Exactly. Earth School, okay? Comes with many lessons. And even in school, you got 12 levels. 12 of the motherfuckers. Okay? Because in the 12th year, when you pass, you have what? Knowledge. You got the knowledge. Okay? You know how to add, subtract, all that shit. You don't learn. Okay? Just like in life. The 12-step program. Literally in this experience. All right, y'all. But, here, when I said the 12-step programs, I heard, the 12 months. So, because you pass everywhere. You pass every year. All right? And every year, you start over. Yes, and then you got the extra 4. If you go to college, 12 and 4. Okay, it's 7. You really, okay, you come out of college like the boss. Okay, you really like, I'm self. Okay. Okay, I got a career. Okay. Yes. I can do what I need for me, baby. Okay. Yeah, whole attitude change. Be tapped the motherfucker in. Okay. But yeah. So yeah, that's what it is, bro. Yeah, we broke that. Yeah, I'm glad you asked me about that because people don't see it that way. They see it as torture. And the only reason why it's torture is because of their own fucking wrath. I mean, we can't do nothing but laugh about it now, okay? Because before we was probably like, man, I hate it here. Oh, you know, just yeah, man. But we didn't understand. We didn't understand. You know, we didn't know. But now we know. Hey, sis, girl. We been on here for a minute. I'm about to get off in a minute, though. We just tripping, though. But for real, though, it be like that. You hate it. You know, we about to lose our motherfucking own wigs off, okay? Knocking heads off. Yeah, but that's because we didn't know. And there's still motherfuckers that don't know. They try to figure out where else they can go in the journey. Motherfuckers don't matter. They're still coming back through this one portal. Okay. It's so true, though. If we unlock our own minds, the power is within. It is. It is. Lose. It's too late for that. You got that right. You might well go lose, honey. Go lose. Just start out. You know what I mean? But do like Luciana did. Get the keys before you start over, okay? Get them keys so you can come back through the right door, okay? Just get the right keys. Alright, we don't need to go through this route again. Okay, I'll do this, sis. Yes, man, you know, it be hard on the motherfucker, okay? But, you know, to understand, you know, what to understand, and then you gotta understand, okay? To overstand all this bullshit, okay? Okay, every time, girl, I gotta cook every fucking day. I try not to cook on Fridays, and I had to cook today. I like home hogs. I like pig. I used to eat pig feet, but every time I catch you, you're about to go get off live. Yes, I try to be on here at like 9 o'clock. I was like here at 9:30. I had to eat first so I can drink, and then, you know, get myself together. But right. If I don't go live on a Friday, I definitely most likely I'll let y'all know. But I try to go every Friday. You know, this is really my time I can really just sit back and build with the fam, you know? Because during the week, man, it be a wrath of shit. It be a wrath, okay? Sometimes it be smooth sailing, but a wrath of shit, okay? These kids, honey. But yeah, trying to stay all balanced and shit, you know? It's a fucking wrath. Trying to stay balanced is a wrath. You know, so yeah. Yeah, that's what, you know, this experience is. Thank you, bro, for asking me about that. And I appreciate that because, hey, it even made me understand a little bit more. Okay? Okay, go and get you a square, girl. I had to get me one in. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and get off here, y'all, because I don't got a little tipsy off this rum and Red Bull. So I'm going to go on in here with these children. Hopefully they stay in their area. And I can just sit back and continue to drink me a little bit more. But if y'all ain't watched the movie, catch that movie, The Wrath of God, yo. You know what I'm saying? Catch The Wrath of God. Watch it on Netflix or on the Fire Stick. Watch that shit. And as I always say, people, I love you. It's on Netflix. Or if you got a Fire Stick. But yeah, it's a Netflix movie. Watch that. I think did you say you seen it, The Wrath of God? Oh no, you said you didn't say that was somebody else. You welcome. But yeah, I'm gonna get up out of here. So love, peace, and oneness, family, and I will definitely talk to y'all on the next Love It, Love It, Love.